This video is kindly brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform to create a beautiful online presence.
Hi, my name's Janelle and welcome back to Rosery Apparel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing how to make this denim style midi skirt step by step. I had a bit of leftover fabric from when I made my little bench seat, which is behind me, and I decided I wanted to make something fun for my wardrobe out of it. And so I had to go at pattern hacking my Clover pattern to make this denim style midi skirt. I cannot begin to tell you how happy I am with how it turned out, and I'm going to be sharing all of the steps on how to make this skirt in this video. So I used some upholstery fabric for my skirt, but obviously you could use traditional denim fabric for this as well, and really any kind of mid to heavyweight fabric should work nicely for this project. And before I forget to mention it, I used about 1.5 meters or 1.5 yards of fabric for this project. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it and let me show you how to make a skirt just like this one. So like I mentioned, for this project we're going to be pattern hacking the Clover skirt sewing pattern, which I'll have a link to down in the description below this video. And from the Clover pattern, cut out the front and back template piece and the skirt facing template piece in your usual size. Start by shortening the front and back template piece by about 10 centimeters or 4 inches. Then using a long ruler, trim the side of the template slightly so that there is approximately 5 centimeters or 2 inches less at the bottom of the skirt template. Next, extend the template by approximately 15 centimeters or 6 inches. Do this by taping some paper to the back of the template. I'm using some tracing paper here for mine so that it extends it by 15 centimeters or 6 inches, and then trim away the excess paper. Use this template to cut out 2 mirrored pieces from your fabric, and these will be the front of the skirt. Next, shorten the extended paper edge by about 5 centimeters or 2 inches. And then cut out 2 more mirrored pieces using this template as well. These will be the back of the skirt. So you should now have 2 mirrored front pieces and 2 mirrored back pieces. Next up, we're going to be using my free pocket template that you can also find a link to download in the description below, and cut 2 of these pocket pieces out from your fabric as well. Start by overlocking or zigzag stitching the straight edge of the back pieces like this to prevent them from fraying. Then with right sides together, stitch the 2 back pieces together along the now overlocked edge. Once stitched, press the seam open and flat with your iron. Then top stitch along the center stitch line to sew the open and press seam in place. Next, take the pocket template that we used earlier and match the edges of the template and the skirt fronts together, and then trace the curved edge of the pocket template directly onto the skirt front fabric pieces. Cut along this curved traced out line. Then with right sides together, place the pocket piece onto the skirt front, matching the curved and straight edges together, and stitch the pocket in place like this. Repeat this for the other skirt front. Once sewn in place, clip the curved edge of the pocket, being careful not to accidentally snip the stitches, and then turn and press the pocket so that it's on the inside of the skirt. Top stitch along the curved edge to keep the layers of fabric in place. Next, fold the pocket in half so that the edge of the pocket matches the edge of the skirt, and press the folded edge. Stitch and overlock the bottom edge of the pocket like this. So now the pockets are complete and the skirt fronts should now look a little something like this. Before we get on to the next step, let's just take a quick break to talk about the sponsor of this video. This video has been very kindly sponsored by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform to create a beautiful online presence and launch your passion project. Whether you'd like to start making and selling your own products, create a beautiful portfolio to showcase your work, write a blog, or simply create any website of any kind, you can design, build, and run your dream website all by yourself with Squarespace. Simply select from their range of beautifully designed templates, and then once you've chosen your template, you can then change it up as much or as little as you like. And in a world of algorithms and ads being fed to us all of the time, I cannot begin to explain just how reassuring it is to have a little corner of the internet that is completely my own. On my website, people are able to shop my products easily without distraction and without ads from other brands taking away their attention. And thanks to Squarespace's powerful SEO tools, every website is optimized to be indexed with meta descriptions, so you will show up more often on search engines when your ideal customers are searching for your particular product. And depending on the plan you select when you set up your Squarespace website, you won't need to pay any commission fees for any of the sales you make through your online store, which again, as a small business owner, is just another reason why I love Squarespace so much. So if you'd like to create a website of your own, then I totally recommend you go and check out Squarespace using the link in the description below this video and take advantage of their free trial so you can test out just how easy it is to use for yourself. And then when you're ready to launch your beautiful new website, head to squarespace.com/roseryapparel for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you so much, Squarespace, for sponsoring this video and for being such an incredible supporter of my channel. Next, overlock or zigzag stitch the curved edges of the skirt fronts, and then with right sides together, place the skirt fronts onto the skirt back and stitch them in place along the sides like this. Once again, press the seam open and top stitch them in place just as we did for the center back seam. Next, take the skirt facing template piece and cut 2 from some lightweight iron-on interfacing. Secure the interfacing to the wrong side of the skirt front edges, approximately 1 centimeter or half an inch away from the edge. Then fold and press this non-interfaced centimeter edge in like this, and then fold the width of the attached interfacing in as well to create the bands where the buttons and the buttonholes will be stitched later on. Next, with the button edges unfolded, overlock or zigzag stitch the entire bottom edge of the skirt. Then, with the right sides of the fabric facing, fold the button edges onto the main skirt fronts and stitch them in place like this. Trim away the corners and fold the button edges back towards the wrong side of the skirt, which once done will look like this, and we'll also naturally fold the bottom edge of the skirt up in order for it to be hemmed. Press this folded edge in place and then stitch it in place to hem the skirt. Once hemmed, top stitch the folded button edge in place as well. And your skirt should now be looking a little something like this. Now to make the skirt waistband. Unfold the skirt we have made so far and measure along the top edge. From this measurement, cut 2 rectangles from your fabric that are your measurement plus 1 centimeter or half an inch for seam allowance on either end by about 6 centimeters or 2.5 inches. The Clover skirt facing is the exact width needed for the waistband, so feel free to use it as a template like I did. Also cut 4 smaller rectangles that measure 6 centimeters or 2.5 inches by 5 centimeters or 2 inches. These will be the belt loops for the waistband. Press the smaller rectangles in half, then unfold them and fold the raw edges to the center crease line. Fold in half once more and then stitch these folded edges of the belt loops in place. Once done, you should have 4 belt loops that look like this. Take one of the waistband rectangles and place the belt loops onto it using the following measurements as a guide. Then with right sides together, place the waistband on top and stitch along the sides and top edge like this, sandwiching the belt loops in place at the same time. Trim away the excess fabric and then turn and press the waistband right side out. Top stitch along the top edge of the waistband to make the belt loops sit flat. Then fold the non-belt loop waistband rectangle in by about 1 centimeter or half an inch. Next, with right sides together, pin and stitch the belt loop edge of the waistband to the front edge of the skirt. I found it was best to use sewing clips for this step instead of pins, as the layers of fabric were starting to get pretty thick and pins just weren't cutting it anymore. Then stitch the sides of the waistband to the top edge of the skirt. Once stitched, fold and press the other side of the waistband to the wrong side of the skirt and pin it in place. Then stitch along the waistband edge on the right side of the skirt, which will also stitch the remaining waistband edge in place onto the inside of the skirt at the same time. Now to add the buttons. For this project, I'm using some proper heavy-duty jeans buttons that you should be able to find easily at most fabric and craft stores, and start by marking out the buttonhole positions onto the right-hand side of the skirt front. I marked my buttonholes approximately 5 centimeters or 2 inches apart, and they will work best when stitched horizontally onto the skirt. For my skirt, I ended up using 12 buttons all up. Stitch the buttonholes in place, and I have shared a full tutorial on how to sew buttonholes and buttons, and I'll have that video linked in the description below if you would like a full explanation on how to do this step. And once the buttonholes are all stitched, carefully open them up with a seam ripper. Next, place the center skirt fronts on top of one another and use the buttonholes to mark out the position of where the buttons will need to be. Then attach the buttons to the marked out positions using the packet instructions, which for my buttons involved using a hammer, which seemed pretty extreme but worked really well and was really quick and easy to do. Now the buttons should all be nicely attached and your skirt is just about complete. Lastly, I decided to add some pockets to the back of the skirt, but this part is completely optional and you don't have to do it if you don't want to. But if you do, once again, use my free pocket template that is linked below in the description and cut out 4 pocket pieces from your fabric. With right sides together, stitch 2 of the pocket pieces together, leaving an opening along the top edge like this to be able to turn them right side out. Once stitched, trim away the excess fabric and then use the opening along the top edge to turn the pockets right side out. Use something like a dull knitting needle to gently poke the corners out, and then give the pockets a good press with your iron, folding and pressing the edges of the opening into the pocket as you press. Stitch along the top edge twice, stitching the opening closed as you sew. You should now have 2 pocket pieces that look a little something like this. Next, on the back side of the skirt, place the pockets so that they are approximately 10 centimeters or 4 inches away from the waistband seam. Stitch them in place like this using 2 rows of stitching to really secure the pockets in place. And the back pockets are now attached and the skirt is now complete. So, how does this finished skirt look? I hope you enjoyed this video and that you're now inspired to have a go at making a skirt just like this one for your own wardrobe. I, again, am just so happy with how it turned out. I was a little nervous, especially because this is a little bit different to what I normally make here on this channel, but it honestly has turned out so well, and I can just tell it's going to be such a fun piece of clothing to wear, especially during the dreary winter months coming up. If you do have a go at making a skirt like this one for your own wardrobe, then I of course would love to see it, so be sure to tag me at Rosery Apparel when you share your photos on your socials. And if you did enjoy this video, it would really mean a lot to me if you could give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more sewing type videos just like this one. Thanks so much for watching this video until the very end, and I'll see you in the next one.